Welcome to On the Chain.
And then it starts evolving. But I want to get into the feature story tonight, something that I teased a little bit in the open, and really talk about why decentralization is so key and so important. And as I pull these links up here, what I want you guys to focus on and just run this through. Now, whether you agree with what's happening or not happening, or you like it or you don't like it, look, it's chocolate or vanilla or strawberry or any other flavor you like. You have a preference for it. But I believe it's more about the use case, and I believe it's more about the overarching concept here that's probably the most important. But I want to talk a little bit about a very specific use case that I see as being very important. One of the reasons that I believe Bitcoin is going to continue to surge. At some point, it will surpass 100,000. Remember, there's a very limited supply. People talk about 21 million. That's never going to happen. I would guesstimate the max on that, even if we go out to when every last bit of Bitcoin's been mined, 2040, 2042, somewhere around there. We're talking maybe there might be somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 million. Maybe. I think 5-6 million have already been lost. The early days, people lost. And we've seen stories here where people have lost, put it on a cold storage wallet, got locked out, couldn't get into it. People threw away hard drives early days. So a lot of it's going to be missing. If it gets to 17 million, I would think that would be a peak. But if you guys are following what's happening up in Ottawa and up in Canada as a whole, you have the truckers that have had their, they want to basically protest the way they would like to protest. And one of the things come out of that is it's kind of gained some steam. Other countries around the world have sort of jumped in and stepped in. From what I can see, it's been very peaceful. I really hope that it remains a peaceful demonstration. People have the right to have their voices heard, and it needs to be peaceful by all means. And one of the things they did is that they started a fund and GoFundMe. So GoFundMe raised a lot of money. It was a lot of money, and I don't remember what the exact amount was. You guys want, you can throw it in there, but they raised a lot of money. And then when they said, "Oh, it's for that. Oh, we can't have that. I'm sorry. We're gonna find a cause, and we're gonna donate to a cause." And then I think what happened is they got a little tap on the shoulder from legal counsel and said, "No, you're gonna refund it." But I think what happened is a lot of people did chargebacks, and if you would charge back, you end up paying a $20 to $25 fee on top of the money that you had to refund. And that becomes a very costly thing. So that went out. So then what happened? Well, they went into they found another source to raise money, another fundraising source that apparently was supposed to be censorship free. That's what they claimed. It was a Christian-based funding site. Not a lot of fees were taken out. And check out what happened. Let's look at this. So breaking, Ontario government freezes access to millions of dollars donated to trucker convoy through GiveSendGo. So this is an evolution, and this is really a strong use case we're going to get into. But they froze the access. So they raised all this money, and millions of dollars gone. Again, not able to access it, because a government stepped in and censored it and said, made a judgment whether they like it or not, whether anyone likes it or not. Again, this was raised for a very specific purpose to give to people. And it's the same as GoFundMe. I've contributed a lot of GoFundMes. People they want to give to a certain cause or a person. And, like John Gill was here last night, his wife, which I'll be tweeting out and as well. But these are people we know. These are loved ones that want to raise money to cover medical expenses, whatever it may be. Now you've got this trucker convoy. There goes that money. So let's sum it up. First one on the first donations gone. Second donations, GiveSendGo, frozen. So let's get to the real meat and potatoes here. Freedom Convoy continues. Trudeau begs protesters to stop, and then the fundraiser raises $542,000 in Bitcoin. And guess what happens here? It's censorship proof. It's one of the key reasons that I absolutely love Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. I love the space. One of the reasons that it's so phenomenal is because the decentralization aspect of it. It's one of the reasons I've been very critical of CBDCs. Not the CBDCs themselves. Inherently, they are not bad. And I hope Ripple succeeds. I hope these other organizations, Stellar, I know they're getting involved in CBDCs. Look, I'm not going to put down an industry, but what I worry about is that human nature creeps in, and what we've seen. Look at this use case here. Would you think that you'd ever expect the Canadian government or any government to take money that was donated and then seize it? So that's the same exact thing that I believe is going to happen with the CBDCs. I believe that at some point, because you're able to, you might say, well, gee, buddy, you're a little overweight. You don't really need a soft drink. You really shouldn't be eating that kind of food. And then money's programmable and it doesn't work, or you track everything and everything people are spending and you get a fine in the mail. I mean, it sounds absurd, but go back and read 1984 and tell me if there's some things that sound familiar to you. Sounded insane when I first read it. Like, yeah, this could never happen. What kind of crazy stuff is this? This is way in the future. I didn't really realize it would be closer to my future. But anyway, yeah, BTC is slow as hell. It is, but who cares? When you're sending value to somebody, who cares? If you're a trucker and you've been out of work and you're sitting in a cab and it's cold up there in Canada. I grew up right across the border there. I spent a lot of time in Canada. A lot of my relatives still live in Canada. My grandfather immigrated to the US, and that was a good thing. That's why I'm here. But you can get into the particulars of Bitcoin. It's slow, the transactions per second, the this and that. But here's the use case right here. Let's dive into this a little bit more. So during the last week, a number of truckers still occupying the streets of Ottawa, protesting can't say that. On Monday, Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau begged protesters to stop the demonstration. It has to stop. That's what he said. And after the GoFundMe shut down their fundraiser, then you had advocates raise 12.41 Bitcoin worth 500. I expect that to rise. I think that's just the start. Hundreds of thousands in censorship-resistant crypto raised since GoFundMe reversed the truckers' fundraiser. 3 days ago, Bitcoin.com news reported on cryptocurrency advocates reacting to GoFundMe's decision on 2 crypto-infused fundraisers. Bitcoin Cash, we know it as BCH, started a Flipstarter fundraiser to raise 100 BCH for the truckers. And so far, Flipstarter's raised 24 BCH, close to 8,000. Not a lot of money, but hey, guess what? Cannot be censored, cannot be shut down. And that's in today's rates. Another fundraiser on Newsdesk reported that was crafted on Twitter account dubbed the Honk Honk Hodl. There you go, right there.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.